Right now on Up with KREM, delays at school bus stops in Spokane are due to a national driver shortage. Some parents say they're seeing delays over an hour and a half. Nicole Hernandez is live this morning.
Yeah, that's right. Coming up, we spoke with a parent whose kid was one of those waiting for their school bus. We also hear answers from Spokane Public Schools.
There are a lot of great stories here in the Northwest. There's so many great stories, and I want people to keep digging and looking for them because they're out there.
The Weyerhaeuser kidnapping is one of the most prominent kidnappings in the history of the Pacific Northwest. A child was snatched on his way home from school in Tacoma and brought to Spokane, where he was held captive.
And it's the first day of fall. We're talking a fall-like forecast and what you can expect as we head into a summer-like weekend.
Up with KREM begins now.
Good morning. Thanks so much for watching Up with KREM. I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Channing Curtis. Now we want to get straight to some breaking news this morning. President Joe Biden is going to announce that the U.S. is doubling the purchase of the Pfizer vaccine.
Now the goal is to vaccinate 70% of the global population within the next year. Right now, his plan is to help purchase 1 billion doses, and he will make the announcement today at the UN General Assembly.
Now, in the meantime, hospitals across Idaho remain in crisis standards of care as COVID-19 cases continue to climb in the state.
Kootenai Health saw a record number of ICU patients on Tuesday. Right now, 43 people are in intensive care.
Now, to put that into perspective, their ICU is actually licensed for 26 beds under normal circumstances.
The Idaho Department of Health and Welfare held a briefing on Tuesday to discuss the big focus, which is keeping people out of hospitals.
Now, they confirmed 90 patients have received antibody treatments from Heritage Health so far.
Health officials want to remind everyone that these treatments do not replace getting the vaccine. So
Kootenai Health will be holding a press conference later today to discuss the growing concern of kids in COVID. Of course, we'll have the latest information in our hour-long 4 p.m. newscast later on this afternoon. Now, to further assist Idaho's overwhelmed hospitals, Governor Brett Little is announcing that he's directing another $10 million to help out Idaho healthcare facilities.
Little says this latest round of support will help ease the burden on hospitals and healthcare workers. In Idaho, the Idaho DOH briefing on Tuesday, officials say $3 million will go towards hospitals, $3.5 million will go towards primary and urgent care, and another $3.5 million will be directed to nursing facilities. Meanwhile, Johnson & Johnson announced on Tuesday they will be developing a booster shot for their single-dose COVID-19 vaccine.
Now, initial studies show that the booster provides a 94% effectiveness against symptomatic infection and a 100% effectiveness against severe illness. Now, in the meantime, another big story of the day is this national bus driver shortage. And now people in Spokane are also starting to feel the effects of this.
That's right. And some students may be waiting longer at the bus stop than normal. This morning, Nicole Hernandez explaining how a driver shortage is affecting students and families here in Spokane. Good morning, Nicole.
Yeah, good morning, guys. So right now I'm live at the Durham Transportation Center. You can see those buses behind me here. This is where these buses stay overnight. This is where they're going to get started for their morning routes to start taking kids to school. So a lot of the U.S. right now is facing this bus driver shortage, something that we're also seeing here in Spokane. So yesterday we were able to talk with a parent of 2 students who go to Libby Center. She says her kids were among 10 waiting for the bus yesterday. After waiting for more than 20 minutes at the bus stop, she says she got a text message from Spokane Public Schools saying the bus was going to be an hour and 40 minutes late.
I think it's stressful because I can't really plan the day fully. I always kind of have to have it in the back of my mind that they might not get picked up and I need to have a plan B, whatever that's going to be.
So yesterday, more parents learned their kids' bus did not have a driver to take them home. The message said they would not be picked up from school until after 4 p.m. KREM 2 reached out to the Spokane Public Schools about the delay and no show of school buses. A spokesperson sent us the following statement. Quote, as has been previously shared and reported, the national bus shortage has impacted many school districts across the state. We're working to mitigate the impact to families and are making adjustments to school bus routes, end quote. Now, we also reached out to the Durham Bus Services. We have not heard back from them, but just last week they did say they had 11 drivers quit over the vaccine mandate. Live in Spokane, I'm Nicole Hernandez.
Breaking overnight, a fast-moving fire near Republic is forcing evacuations.
Now, fire crews are already attacking the fire by air and on the ground. The Department of Natural Resources says the fire is burning just northeast of Republic. It's already spread to about 162 acres. That's up from about 40 acres on Tuesday afternoon.
So if you live near Heron Creek, Spring Ridge Road, Goa Way, or Grizzly Loop, the sheriff wants you to get out now. The sheriff is warning people to stay out of the area during the day and to stay clear of planes and helicopters doing water drops. All right, 5:05 now on the first day of fall.
First day of fall.
Channing and I are on brand today. Look at
We are. We're in our fall colors. I love it, Tim. And you know what? It feels a little bit like fall out there this morning. If you've been outside at all this morning, it's a little cool out there for sure.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah.
Technically, it's still summer.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
I'm sorry, I had to. I just couldn't resist. It is actually summer until 12:20 p.m. today. Well, it's right around 12:21, but you know, if we're splitting hairs here on seconds, who cares? Today is the first day of fall. They are right. And it is feeling a little bit fall-like this morning. 49 degrees outside. I'm telling you, it's a little colder here on the South Hill. I can feel that chill in the air. Saw some stars overhead, but clouds slowly starting to filter in. And what we're going to see today is increasing cloud cover, then wind picking up. And that's not good news for that wildfire burning near Republic. We are seeing quite a bit of wind pick up across the region. So over the next 12 hours, for us, it's going to be wind gusts near 15 to even close to 20 miles per hour at times. Out in central Washington, it's possible those wind gusts will nail 30 to 35 miles per hour, which is not good news when it comes to a wildfire burning, and that is exactly what we don't want to see. You can already see some of that cloud cover moving in, so we'll quickly go from clear, sunny as we start the day, to cloudy and windy. And as we head into the afternoon, those clouds and that wind, not going to do much in terms of keeping us cooler. We're right about where we were yesterday in terms of high temperatures, but without that sunshine, it is going to feel a little bit cooler outside. But if you want that summer-like weather, don't worry, summer's last stand happens this weekend, and I've got a sneak peek coming up. In your full forecast, I'll walk you through just how we get here.
The FBI is confirming that the body found in Wyoming on Sunday has been identified as 22-year-old Gabby Petito.
So her death has been called a homicide, but the cause of death hasn't been released. Investigators still looking for Gabby's fiance, Brian Laundrie, who is a person of interest in the case.
Now, Laundrie returned from their road trip without Petito at the beginning of September. A search warrant reveals multiple texts and conversations between Petito and her mother, in which there appeared to have been more and more tension between her and Laundrie.
Her final text on August 27th made an odd reference to her grandfather. That same day, Laundrie's van was spotted in Wyoming by a couple. Investigators are currently chasing down tips of possible sightings of Laundrie. So the nationwide attention in Gabby Petito's case is renewing calls from activists to also remember the missing and murdered Indigenous women from all over the country.
In Washington, Mary Johnson, also known as Mary Davis, went missing last November.
So her family put up billboards with her picture in hopes of finding answers. Police say she was on the way to a friend's home on the Tulalip Reservation and never arrived.
The FBI is now offering a $10,000 reward for anyone with any information about her location or her disappearance.
Mary is just one of 115 Indigenous men and women who are currently missing in Washington. From Spokane alone, 11 people are missing.
Washington has the second highest number of missing Indigenous women and girls. Seattle has the highest number of missing women and girls in the country.
It is time for your morning rush. More news in less time.
First up, the Washington State Department of Health confirms it's looking into 2 mass COVID testing sites to open in Spokane. The DOH has partnered with Discovery Health to set up 2 testing sites at local community colleges. However, the main concern is the lack of workers and resources.
Everyone is strapped for resources everywhere, both personnel and supply chain.
Officials say these sites are to stop the spread specifically and not for people who just need testing. The testing sites could be ready in as soon as 3 weeks.
Idaho Governor Brad Little released a letter asking President Biden for an in-person meeting with other governors to address the U.S.-Mexico border. 26 Republican governors signed the letter. They call on the president to find solutions to, quote, the national security and public health crisis at the border.
There are some new members joining Gonzaga University's campus. They're called Kiwi Bots. Okay, these are kind of cute. So GU, Zag Dining, and Kiwi Bots have partnered to deliver hot meals to anyone on campus by way of these little robots. So students, faculty, and staff members can order food on campus from on-campus restaurants and then have it delivered directly to them. These little bots have a locked compartment holding the food, so only the person who ordered the meal can open that compartment.
Oh.
That is really cool.
Cool. Freaky. I don't know if I saw a little bot
Just driving around
on my way to class. Excuse me. Wait your turn.
Excuse me. Hold on, please.
Hey, that's your morning rush. Let us know what's happening in your neighborhood by using the hashtag UpWithKREM on social media. A 1930s kidnapping captivated the nation. A young child was abducted, and the kidnappers led the family on an elaborate scheme that spanned across the state.
It's hard to sum this up, but I'll see if I can. So George is walking home from school, and he's snatched off the street by these 3 kidnappers.
Well, a Seattle author uncovers intricate details in one of the greatest manhunts in the Pacific Northwest.
I want to be the first brown, gay, hard of hearing winner.
The brand new season of Survivor starts tonight, and a Washington local hopes to make his mark on the iconic show. Coming up in our next half hour, we have an exclusive interview with one of the newest castaways.
And today is the first official day of fall. The equinox takes place at 12:20 p.m. and that kicks off our season of cooling. Fall is the season that we see the biggest temperature drop across the U.S.